But I think that is that something that I was trying to see there is some way that they can be more flexible with that, because that's the only thing that I found that is, I would say, is it.
I usually find people who demand like to have this, that, and the other thing, wouldn't matter what you give them, there would be something else that was wrong, and it's really them that's the problem. And I don't mean to pick on you. You can either trade futures or you can't. And 90% of people who try and trade futures flame out, literally bomb out of an account. And you better keep that in mind. It's a proven statistic. 90% of people who fund a futures account and trade it will take it to zero. It's a fact.
What's the main reason for that? That leverage kills it.
The leverage kills you, and it's fast moving, and a lot of people just sit there, and I've watched plenty of people, you know, and, right, you know, and it just, you know, you better, you know, actually, Sonia brought up a couple good points. I mean, you better be objective, and it's tough to be objective. Oh, it's, you know, it's rolling against me, and, you know, I don't recommend it. It's just, you have to really, really be a cat. I mean a cat light on your feet and nimble, and most people aren't. You know, most people are used to buy and hold. You know, you may buy and hold something for 10 seconds. You know, it's just a lot of people are not conditioned for it.
If you're not a real good trader in options, why do you think you're going to be a good trader in futures?
Well,
that's just
right, because it's times 1,000.
Yeah.
It's times 1,000 options compared to futures.
If you're a beginner, one of my advice for a beginner, I tried to start a blog site called Newbie Trader. And, well, it's just too much to manage. You can't, it's like Rob is saying, you know, like I'm trying to manage 15 different positions, and I'm trying to manage a naked put, and I'm trying to manage a calendar, and I'm trying to learn how to do a diagonal, and I'm trying to, then Rob says, well, you know, broken wing butterfly is the way to go. So I'm trying to learn all that. You're never going to do it. And I never really learned well investing foundations in the first place. So, you know, from the group that I've been in and what I've learned is if you're starting, spend a lot of your time on investing foundations. Learn how to trade, hold, sell stock, long stock, and then then go from there. And spend a lot of time learning. Advanced tech. Learn how to read the chart.
Foundations, but here's the other thing too. In the back of your mind, when you put a futures trade on, it's undefined risk.
Yep.
Don't think that you don't know that. And when it starts ripping and jumping and, you know, I mean, you see people go, you know, I mean, it happens, you know, I mean, in not in the last month, but in February, March, April, we were seeing moves in 30 seconds that would take a week last year.
Yep.
A week happened in 30 seconds. Now you tell me most humans are ready for that type of action. Sorry, Charlie, they're not.
Rob, on an E-mini S&P, what's the total value of that contract?
It's 50 delta.
Yeah, but it's
One.
$50,000 is what you're throwing?
Yeah.
And then you're basically having to put up, what, $1,800?
Yeah.
So how's that for leverage?
That's leverage.
You're putting up $1,800, but you're controlling $50,000.
Yeah,
That's your max loss on one contract.
But let me say, learning option will take me a year, and future is just like bid it, sell or buy. That's it. It's not complicated as a butterfly.
It's not complicated, really.
Yeah.
You gotta be quick.
Except the risky, you understand.
It's
but
not complicated.
I mean, I never saw.
If it's not complicated, why do 90% of people go to zero? If it's not complicated.
Percentage of people who play. There is only a 10% according to all the people that they have success in this. And also it's the same thing for any profession.
Yeah. I actually deal with a group of PhDs out of Berkeley.
Yeah.
And we go back and forth on Skype. I have them do a lot of analysis for me. And they all trade futures. And probably 2 months ago, I sent them a Skype that you know, instead of going through the CME, we can transfer all your funds to my account without paying commissions because every one of them have gone to zero.
Really?
So if it's not complicated, you know, and you have to realize, if you're trading the E-mini, you are trading against the best in the world. You're not trading against people like this in this room. You are trading against the best in the world. So my first recommendation would be to trade the YM instead of the E-mini.
What is the why?
It's the Dow. It's not as choppy.
Okay.
I mean, there aren't as many computer programs ripping it back and forth, shaking you out of positions.
What about the EF?
Who?
EF, the Russell?
The Russell? Pick your poison. You have a 10% chance.
I don't know.
Pick your poison. It's a fact. Come on. It's a fact.
Rob, we got a question for you online. It said, what are your favorite futures to trade? Do you day trade or position trade? What setups do you use? Do you use squeezes on futures?
Yes, I do use squeeze on futures. Yes, I do day trade them. Once in a great while, I will hold them over a weekend. Typically short. About the longest I've ever been on futures is short 5. Setups, I usually like to look at a candle. I follow the candles, and when the candles start looking wicky on top, pile in short, and I use the top of the wick as a stop, usually 1 or 2 ticks above it.
What chart?
Yes, I don't trade Forex, but I do trade currency futures.
When you say wicking, what chart?
512.
512?
Yes. I enter on the 233 and exit on the 512.
I want to change the subject. Some
Could I
butterfly
interrupt?
spreads?
Whoever's seen Sonia, Kim, maybe just keep rolling, to the next appointment with Kim.
Yeah, the appointments are down through.
Yeah, I can show you what I have on for June, and I'll probably take it off probably Monday. I wanted to fade over this weekend.
Before we go on to specific trades, last time you were here, you were kind of like, you gave us a general outlook of hey, we got a lot of leverage in the banks, and it's probably going to clear up around April. And then you gave us some specific stocks, which several of them did very well. Can we reset and give us some new advice looking forward out the next 6 months?
Well, I can.
Where were we at in your predictions of this leverage? Because this is just something you just don't read, or just you
Right.
tell us this stuff, and it's not hard. It's hard to find that.
Yeah. Well, I would say most of the deleveraging is done. Personally, this rally has surprised me. I'm short the retail index right now. I own FAS, and I'm selling premium against it. I like NSC right now. I personally think we haven't seen the bottom.
Are you long anything?
Yeah, I'm long FAS, which is short. Exactly. Personally, I would not be getting long this market right now any way, shape, or form. Any way, shape, or form. I am long the UYG, which is a financial index, but I've been long it almost the whole year, and I've got huge gains in my cost basis, and I'm selling premium against it.
Another quick question about Hikinashi candles. Do you use them at all?
No.
They feel-
No.